Most people think that you need fancy supplies to build a real journal, but today I'm going to start off with nothing but some fabric, some paper, and a printable that you can get for free today. So if I can do this, you can too. Let's get to it together. I don't know about you, but I am completely in the mood for fall. I'm so excited for this new season of unlocked possibilities of just wonder and joy. I can't wait for the holidays to begin. And really, it's more than just about the holidays. It's about just the season of change for me. And maybe you're in the same boat as I am in, where maybe you've had some stuff happen to you where you're ready for a change. You're ready for God's blessings. And just like we swap out our summer clothes and we start maybe transitioning little by little our fall clothes into our repertoire, then this is the same way that we can start doing that with our journal. Maybe we were working on our summer journals and now we can transition into this new cozy sweet time when the leaves start falling and the air starts getting a little crisper at night. I noticed yesterday I was out and it was 72 degrees here, and I don't know when that happened, but I'm so excited about that turn and the newness that comes with it. Welcome. I'm Ingrid Carlsen, and I am so glad that you're here with me today. You probably found this video because you love junk journaling, maybe as much as I do, and I welcome you. I hope that this video blesses you and it encourages you and that you get some ideas to go create something beautiful today. Let's do this together and let's start off with this fall season. So I'm using my printable kit, Vintage Autumn here, and I'll have the QR code if you want to grab a copy for yourself on Etsy. And then also I have the kind of other printable that goes with it that is available on my Patreon. Now, as far as the freebie that you see here, which I'm going to give you, it's actually the front and back covers, which I've glued together, and they are tabs. And then I have they're kind of like little mini file folders. And then I have the little mini file folders with it. So you'll get that printable, and all you have to do is go over to my Patreon, and you don't have to do the paid version. You just click on join as a free member, and it'll be there inside of the group. So if you want to make one of these, then that is the perfect way to do it so that it looks, at least, if not exactly like mine, very similar to mine. I'm going to start off by cutting out or ripping up some fabric, and that is going to be the spine of my journal. Now, I'm going to show you the good, bad, and ugly, and I am the worst. And when I tell you the worst, you cannot argue with me that you're worse. I am the worst at sewing and at hand sewing. Maybe I'm not that great at regular sewing either, but I'm really bad at hand sewing. So much so that I had to take off my rings because it kept getting stuck. I had to edit so much of the video out of me trying to add this fabric to the cover, because usually something like this I run through my sewing machine, but my sewing machine is giving me some problems and I don't know what's wrong with it. I hope that I don't have to take it somewhere, and maybe I'll ask my husband to take a look at it first. But either way, I thought it would be a good moment to do some hand sewing, and I stumbled my way through this. I think that every single time that I pull the fabric out, the bottom piece, I think, is I cut the string too long, and I'm just using some thread here, and I think this is like that heavy duty jean thread, and I doubled it up because I thought it would look pretty, but it was just a mess. So, but at the end, it looks so pretty. You can't tell that I messed it up that much. And trying to get the fabric not to move on the second part or the back cover, I actually end up adding a staple on each end to keep the fabric in place. And I love the way that it looks so much that I ended up adding staples to the front. And I will definitely be doing this again because it gives it that industrial feel with the fabric that is like very dainty. And you guys already know that I love this look. Another thing that I found very helpful was to pre-punch out my holes with my owl. Somebody told me I was saying it wrong, and ever since then, now I can't remember what the right way is. It owl or owl? Let me know in the comments, even though I can't be guaranteed to remember it again. But anyways, and you can see here my fabric that is beautiful and frayed also got in the way and kept getting stuck. So I ended up having to roll it out of place. So anything that kind of could have gone wrong with this did go wrong. It took me 2 days to make the cover because I was really trying hard to get my sewing machine to work, but it didn't. And in the end, the journal looks beautiful. And I think that I like it more being hand sewn than if I would have sewn it on the machine. I love working on journals this way. Journal covers are the first impression of your journal. They are the kind of, it gives you an insight of what is inside the journal. So today we're going to work on the covers. We're going to decorate the front and the back covers together, and I'm going to kind of let it be in pretty much real time, and I'm going to show you how there's times where things pull together and there's other times where it takes a long time so that you can see my exact process. I'd love to get your commentary. Let me know in the comments down below of, do you like that style? Do you want to see that kind of what I would consider dead space? While I was editing this, it was really hard. I just wanted to fast forward through it. But some of you have told me that you want to see the process, the full process. So I'm just wondering, which you prefer. I do really hope that you create this journal with me, whether you use the printable or you do your own version of it. Even if you decide to do a hard book or like alter an existing book, you can do something like that as well. But I really love this method because it really shows that you don't need a lot of fancy things in order to make a journal. Really, it can just be what you have laying around. And this is some fabric that I had from a chindi rug, but you can use anything. If you have an old t-shirt that maybe is stained and you can't get the stains out, or maybe it has a rip in it or something, then think about cutting that up and putting it into your journal. Not only will it facilitate being a spine, but it's a piece of you that you probably loved, and now you're giving it a new life in this journal. And that's, I think, the essence of what junk journaling is, or at least started out from. We've talked a lot about binding and journals and stuff, and I want to just encourage you not to make a big deal out of it. Don't worry if your stitching isn't perfect. That is part of the beauty. I sometimes struggle when I try to do things in a straight line, and if I would have just let it be and be organic and natural, it would have saved me heartache, and I would have probably liked the look of it better at the end. And so I just want to encourage you today that that's part of the personality. That is the sweet spot. That is what makes it you and what starts telling your story. I wanted to include this printable for you guys because it's more than just a printable, it's a template, and that's going to save you some time with measuring or trying to cut anything out. It's already done for you, and the best news is you don't have to just use it for this project. You can print it over and over and over again, and you can do many different projects. And if you caught my kind of July 4th series that I was making some similar, like, journals like this, then you're going to see that there's so many different ways that you can use this. And being this blue and white pattern that I've chosen here, then you can use it almost for any season: Christmas, New Year's, summer. I mean, really, the possibilities are endless. So I hope that you get a lot of use out of it. I also wanted to mention that there is going to be a part 2. Today we are working on the construction of the journal board itself. So the front cover, the back cover, and the spine. And then in part 2, we will start building it together and maybe start decorating some pages inside. I also have something else that's going to be a little bit of a surprise, so make sure that you're checking out every video in this series. So first I wanted to pick the side. I have other journals that have this little rolling already, so I'm going to go with this side instead. Now I'm going to pull some pieces that I think might be really pretty for covers, and we'll kind of spitball together. I think one of these girls would be really pretty on the cover. I like her. Let's assemble the little cluster first, and then we'll decide what girl will go on top. I like this, but I also want to see some of this blue and white in the background, so I'm going to cut this down. Let's see, I like this cluster. But I don't know if I want to cover up all these flowers. Also, these flowers are going to be kind of delicate on the edge. So this is more real life of sometimes it goes really quickly where I just pull pieces apart, stack them, and they work. And sometimes it doesn't really work like that. So this. Let's so where I'm struggling here is I really want to be able to see this shape, and when I have it here, then I can only see this. So I think I'm going to take a little leap of faith. And I'm going to keep that. So I'm second guessing this leaf. I love it, and I think it looks beautiful, especially with the contrast, the blues, the tans, these greens. But being a cover, I want to be mindful that it's going to be touched, and so I don't want the leaves to crumple or fall off. So I was actually thinking something like this might work better. Okay. So I really, again, go back to this look. I think that it's really pretty. The biggest negative is that I'm covering up the tab, and I love the tab. So I'm going to try to scooch everything over to the left. Okay, so I think that's going to be our look, and that was a piece of the ephemera from another one of my kits. I'll have it linked down below. I'm going to go ahead and staple this, and then I'll distress it. Because I've attached it and I'm distressing afterwards, I'm going to use a X-Acto knife. I think right here, I like that it says California, but I think I'm going to just etch away a little piece of it. I think that looks already so much better. I'm also going to bend the tag here and add some distressing, because I think that just makes it look lived in. I also think I want to add some thread to the top. I got this cotton twine on Amazon. I'll link it in my storefront if you want to take a look at it. But I've been really wanting to use it, so I'm the worst at these, like unraveling it. Oh, it's right there. Okay. And I'm going to cut it like this so that it gives me kind of that blunt cut. Okay, let's see. I'm actually gonna move back. I like working on a white surface usually so that I can see everything. Sometimes when you have too much color, it kind of interferes. I do like that. So, plan B. Whenever I'm layering pieces on the background, I want to have this little mat. It can be a little bit, it can be a lot. It's really up to you on what aesthetic you want, but I find that this gives it a lot of interest. What I like about this also is that now we can see the paper on both sides. It also darkens this up right here, so if there were white underneath there, it doesn't, I feel like it doesn't look as good. And I'm going to glue this down more once we decide what's what. Usually I would have these pieces kind of be free like this so that they're kind of interactive, but because this is the cover, I'm going to glue it down pretty well. I actually like that leaf going this way a little bit, so I'm going to manipulate it and glue it down. Okay. I really like this little edge, so I'm going to cut into this. I'm not thinking about it, I'm just going to do it. I do like that, and I think we're going to call it done. I may come back later and add some splashes of color with some paint. Look how pretty that is already. I also have those stamped pieces. Oh, I love that. I've been toying with rounding the corners. Should I do it? Let's go really slight. I won't do the corner rounder, I'll just, yeah, I think I like that. I think that's really cute, so I'm going to go ahead and do the same here. I was actually looking at this, and I think that it would look nice if a piece of this is missing. So I'm going to do the same thing that I did here, over here. I'm going to watch my fingers. And that was almost too smooth, so I want to rough it up just a touch. Okay, let's go ahead and do something to the back. And on the back, actually, you want to do that to the front too, just a little distressing. I decided to go ahead and leave the leaves because I'm looking at it this way. If they become destroyed or if they fall off completely, then it was part of the process and it'll look like an old document, you know, an old piece of paper that got wrinkled and torn and tattered. Okay. I'm going to distress these edges a little more. think I'm going to add a little hole. Let's go this way. So wherever that slit was. I'm just taking a blunt needle that I use to do the stitching here, and I'm going to distress the little hole. I'm going to add a few more. The reason the blunt edge works is because it won't tear the paper. Instead, it's going to make folds. I like the color of this. Oh, and I think the girl, that's where she can come in here. I think that's going to look really pretty. I keep going back to that red and blue. I love it so much. So, where is that plant? Actually, I'm going to grab another piece of stamped. I like this one because it's not so dark. Okay, so I think I would like it right here. think I cut it a little bit too, well, that might work. We'll see. This has been the bane of creation today. It's driving me nuts. I think I'm going to cut this apart and just add the number here. It's not going to all fit, so I'm going to cut as close as I can to that 3. And I still want a little bit of matting around, so I'm going to end up cutting most of that 2 off, I think. And now we have the front and the back. I want to thank you so much for being here, for all of your love and your prayers and your comments. And if you caught that stamp video, welcome back. If you didn't decide to leave after that and bail ship on me, but I'm still like going back and forth on that one of what if it's going to turn out or not. But I will definitely keep you guys posted. But you're going to see that I'm going to use some of those stamped images today as well as in the future of this journal. And so I'm really excited for that new prospect of being able to use my stamps more. I hope that this video has inspired you. I hope that you come along and make one of your very own. And I want to remind you today, if no one has told you, that you are special. You're beautiful exactly how you are. And your voice matters. You are deeply and wonderfully loved. Until next time, love you. Bye.